Welcome back. Hey, this is not the healing bench because unlike AVE, things just go from a state of higher order to a state of greater disorder on this bench. But I'm going to do my best to walk you through something that I think is important to discuss, and that is connectors on Rocky Talkie specifically. So I was watching another guy's video on Rocky Talkie that may or may not have had greater production quality than mine. You know, no judgment towards me or to him for potentially having better quality. Some people just have more time on their hands. However, it did make me wonder. This is technically listed as an M3 connector in the Rocky Talkie website, but what I've noticed by going through a ton of different websites that deal in speaker mics and those things, that M3 is not a standard nomenclature. So what I'm going to do is in the bottom of this video, in the comments, I'm going to place a whole bunch of links to different headsets that I think, operative words here, that I think will fit this. Now, if I'm right, I think this is actually the Motorola GP328 connector. They call it an M3, other sites call it an M4. But if you want to stop watching the video right now and go click on those links, go for it. They are not affiliate links. I don't care if you buy from them or not. I just tried to do a little bit of homework. I got a kid home sick, so let me just help you out a little bit. And again, I think they're the right connectors. Again, this is a muddled world of radio connector charts, but I really did do my best to get that figured out. They do make earbuds, they do make remote speaker mics, they do make all kinds of connectors that fit this. Surveillance style with the coiled earpiece, single wire, they make over-the-ear boom mics, just about anything you could want, they make. The challenge is figuring out which one fits this radio. So that made me think a little bit more. The original Rocky Talkie has a standard 2-pin. I say standard a little bit tongue-in-cheek because this is an ICOM 2-pin. The ICOM 2-pin technically almost fits in there. It's maybe, I don't know, a millimeter off, but it will kind of go if you really, really force it. But the pins are not set in the same order. So for instance, this is typically a positive, this is typically a negative, and Kenwood does something different than ICOM. This works great in ICOM radios. Works great in an old ICOM 2-meter 440 ham. It works great in Trusty Rusty, and just about any legacy ICOM radio you could want. But even ICOM has gotten a little crazy with theirs. This is off of the ICOM. I think it's the FT1000. You can buy them from PCI. And it has the same spacing, but this is a tip ring, whereas this is a tip ring. So they're not the same. So ICOM can't even keep it straight. Kenwood is a very popular one, and I think that's why Rocky Talkie went with it. But again, Rocky Talkie originally had something written here that said prog for program. They didn't even want us to use handheld mics, but they later admitted that they would work. So why did Rocky Talkie go from the traditional, there we go, 2-pin to this surface mount? Well, I don't really like change. I like improvement, I don't like change. And at first, I didn't like this new setup. But it's growing on me, and let me explain why. Any harsh environment, public safety type radio these days will have a surface mount connector on it, okay? Cheaper radios that don't need as robust a connection. So for instance, if you were just goofing off with it and you missed a call, it's not gonna cost you your life, can still regularly be seen with a single pin. This is a Motorola single pin, not to be confused with a Yaesu single pin watertight connector, or the Yaesu single pin TRRS, I think that's what they call it, connector. And but the reason for this is actually pretty neat. These are watertight. These will keep water from intruding into the body of the radio, whereas something like this you know, you can do a pretty darn good job of making this watertight, but at the same point in time, that is a cavity that will retain water. Now, the Motorola APX does produce a hazardous environment radio, which means that it is intrinsically safe. This is not one. It looks identically to this, except it has a couple other stickers on the inside, typically, and maybe one right here. But they consider this style of connection intrinsically safe. That's a good thing. Intrinsically safe means it's not going to produce a spark that could potentially ignite and a bunch of other things that we won't get into. But if they're going to certify that as intrinsically safe, you got to realize that's a pretty darn good connection. You can see on this one it has a rubber gasket. The Motorola XTS 5000 has a much more traditional, I say traditional because they've used this connector for about 15 to 20 years. Clips in, locks on top. The Bendix King, the KNG2, and the BKR 5000 also have surface mounts. Now, these are wildland fire radios. These are going to get sprayed by all kinds of nasty stuff, but these are the connections that they have found work the best. Unfortunately, BK decided to change these fittings. I really don't see a need for this new fitting, but I guess they have to sell new connectors and new remote speaker mics. So all that to be said, I lost everything. Had it around here somewhere. There we go. This is a Rugged Radios off-road headset. And this is the adapter that I bought just to test it. This one was off of Amazon at Wodasen. Wodasen. Again, no affiliate links, but there are links down below for things that I think will fit. This one does work. Has this tab that catches in that slot. Screw that down nice and tightly. I wouldn't wrench on it too badly because this receptacle here is brass and you could probably strip that out if you really wanted to manhandle it, which I don't suggest. But now what this does is create a watertight connection. So if you are river rafting, if you are fishing, if you're boating, whatever, you're still going to be able to hear your buddies. Now, this one I bought as a push-to-talk kit. Really chintzy button. I'm not saying that I endorse this or suggest it, but it works, okay? And it works really well with this headset. So what I'm going to do, again, for the third time, is put a bunch of links down below. I do genuinely believe that the links below are for speaker mics, earpieces, what have you, that will fit on the Rocky Talkie. Buy at your own risk. I'm pretty sure they'll work, but I haven't bought all of them, nor am I going to buy all of them. But if you are hunting and you don't want the prey to hear your radio squawk, get an earpiece. If you're working security for a venue, get an earpiece. If you want to be able to mount this on your belt and have a speaker mic up on your lapel like this, great, they make them. Whether you buy from the links below or not, doesn't matter to me in the least. What does matter though is that you guys know without a doubt that there are options for speaker mics and earpieces and adapters to off-road helmets for the Rocky Talkie. That's all I've got for you today. Y'all take care. Have fun.